This week on the MMO Report, one World of Warcraft player makes it to max level without killing anything. And that, my friends, is what we call a coward. Also, BioWare casually mentions the slight chance of maybe sometime in the future making a Mass Effect MMO. And the entire internet is a brick. Way too easy. And finally, I get a letter from one of my oldest fans in Uncle Casey's mailbag. Not old as in age, but old as in has been watching our show for a long time. Actually, I have no idea how old he is. Food for thought. Anxiously awaiting the arrival of Portal 2, this is the MMO Report. Hello, and welcome to the MMO Report, your weekly dose of virtual fiber. I'm your host, Casey Schreiner, and I suddenly feel the need to eat a giant plate of nachos, so let's get this over with, shall we? Of course, the big news this week is about the World of Warcraft player Everbloom, who brought her character to level 85 without any quest or combat experience. Yes, this experimental WoW pacifist made it all the way to the top with nothing more than exploration and gathering experience. Everbloom explained that this task forced her to see so much more of Azeroth than most players see, giving her unique and rewarding experience overall. Thanks to her cheese-eating surrender monkey ways, Everbloom only died 25 times on her way to max level. That's 25 deaths in 85 levels. Miss Everbloom, if there was a Nobel Peace Prize for pointless dedication toward arbitrary obsessive-compulsive goals, you'd be a shoo-in. Congrats. Last week, the Secret Worlds game director Ragnar Tornquist, who, by the way, has the most middle name I've ever heard, told Eurogamer that Funcom already has the next 7 years of content updates laid out for their horror epic MMO that doesn't even have a release date yet. Guys, you trying to make us look bad? To quote Ragnar directly, quote, "We have actually begun not only design work, but artwork on content that's due after launch that has been planned from the get-go," unquote. Proving once again what the European lifestyle of free healthcare, a month's paid vacation, and high levels of beer and cheese consumption can do for productivity. But it can't all be good news. Ragnar also confirmed that the PC version of the Secret World is their main focus, and any plans for a console version have been put on the back burner. And considering this is coming from someone who plans 7 years in advance, we'll probably see the Secret World on the PlayStation 4 sometime just around 2021. Just in time for my 40th birthday. Ugh. The good boys and girls over at Massively let us know this week that BioWare's George Zoller just posted a new Star Wars The Old Republic dev blog detailing the game's advanced class system. Because, you know, it's always good to get your studying done early. When a character reaches level 10, they will have the ability to choose between 2 advanced classes on their faction's capital world. Each choice will give you access to 2 exclusive skill trees, as well as a third that is shared between both advanced classes. Skills will add to and complement a character's base abilities, so if a Sith Warrior Juggernaut chooses to learn Force Grip, Force Choke will also become upgraded from a channeled ability that needs several seconds to activate to an instantly used ability. Now, BioWare, I appreciate all these peeks under the hood, but before I buy a car, I need to test drive the damn thing. Get your ass in gear and start rolling on that beta test before we all lose interest and start playing Rift instead. The team over at Hi-Res Studios recently announced that their MMO shooter global agenda will be moving away from a monthly subscription model and embracing a free-to-play microtransaction plan instead. Bringing some sunlight to the situation, COO Todd Harris recently sat down with MMORPG.com to explain why he thinks this new method will not only benefit the team, but also improve the game for their still growing fan base. Harris confirmed that Hi-Res has a team dedicated to maintaining and improving global agenda as often as possible, and thinks that the move to free-to-play will allow them to release patches and updates more frequently than they have in the past. Harris also discussed some new PvP modes, updates to existing game modes, and individual class improvements, but I'm going to assume you all passed the 4th grade and can read the damn article for yourself, because this isn't Papa Casey's story time. That show is still in development. In a recent Game Informer article, BioWare's Casey Hudson casually discussed the possibility of a Mass Effect MMO. That's possibility, don't get too excited. Quote, "A lot of people say that they want to see an MMO. I think that kind of makes sense for this universe," said Hudson. "If you get rid of the Reapers and win that, wouldn't it be amazing to just live on the Citadel or just take a ship to Omega? That makes sense." Yes, Casey, that would make sense, but you guys still haven't put out your first overhyped MMO based on an incredibly popular intellectual property. One disappointment at a time, please, gentlemen. And now, because I need to help MMO champions celebrate National Grilled Cheese Week, it's time for Uncle Casey's mailbag. First up is Maple, who claims that I tickle his pixels and has made me an actual website to request my DNA for human procreation. No joke, it really exists. Pixeltickle.com, one word. As for the question at hand, I'll have to get back to you on that one, Maple, but it's not a no. Next up is Sergey, who submitted his idea for an Attitude shirt featuring yours truly. I like the concept, but that weird effect you put on my face kind of makes me look like W.C. Fields. Maybe we'll hold off on putting that one into mass production. And finally, we have Dremlock, who asked for my opinions on other MMO shows on the internet, but more importantly confessed that he's been watching the show since the very beginning when we had a total audience of 7 and shot our show in a broom closet. All true. Dremlock, you, sir, are a truly dedicated fan, and we deeply appreciate your commitment to our little show, especially since we're approaching our 200th episode. Wow, holy shit. Is that accurate? You'd think by now I'd have a decent denim plan. Keep those stories of worry and woe coming to the MMO Report at G4TV.com, and we'll keep reading them aloud on a media format that is slowly destroying the written word. And now, because I have to go see Scream 4 and then brag to my friends about how I knew who the killer was from the beginning, it's time to sign off. Don't forget, we go live every Thursday afternoon at G4TV.com/MMO, so stop by and say hello if you're in the neighborhood. I'll put the kettle on. So until next time, I'm Casey Schreiner. This is the MMO Report. I've been informed that the Cleveland Indians are doing quite well this week. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'm going to guess that their mascot is incredibly racist. His name is Chief Wahoo? Yes, the mascot is incredibly racist.
Should put some piano sounds in there. Pretend like you know what you're doing. Good, because we're speeding.
Well, good. I'll start talking then.
Well, good. That's how this works.